Okay. Where is this game? No, I don't think it's quite ready yet. Well, you know what? Real quick, plug this in. I will show this. Do you remember at Christmas time we were doing a tournament edition NBA Jam? Well, he sent it back to us for. We delivered it in time for Christmas, but we told him we had to order the side art in. So we just got the side art in, and there it is. And they are going to be delivering this today. You are going to be delivering it today, right, boys? Are you? Are we ready? Okay, well, not really. Well, I really wanted to do a more extensive video on this, but Acclaim came out with this kit for Judge Dredd. Could you play the game for me? And this has sound bites from the original game. The game is obviously rendered in cartoon form, but it actually has movie clips from the movie. And this boy here, he's pretty good. Look at that. He whips those guns back. He does this good whipping on that. They rebuilt it, new power supply monitor. It uses a regular resolution monitor, but we rebuilt that with all this stuff. Red T molding. Game really looks good. I can't do a more extensive video. So, and then when the next Judge Dredd comes in. Great stereo sound, though. It's funny, some people put these games in kits that don't have stereo. And you can hear the separation when I move it. I think you can hear it on the... Did we win? Crisp, clear digital sound. I'm not sure what cabinet this was originally. This with the curved front. Oh, it was NBA. That's right. It was a dedicated NBA. We did not convert it. This is how it came in. But see, there's the video clip of the reel. Nice, really nice. Well, you may take it now. They're anxious to get out of here.
Late.
They're late. I know they're late.
There you go, kid.
Go ahead, sir.
Excuse me.
He's in a hurry. As a matter of fact, they're getting ready to deliver Monopoly. Anyway, this is Pat. He's driven here all the way from
Maryland.
Maryland. I was trying to think.
Southern Maryland.
Was he in Ohio? I couldn't remember. He left early this morning. When he got out of bed, there was nobody up. They were all asleep. He got in the car himself. I told him that if he brought the kids, they could be in the video too, but they didn't want to. They said they're going to come and enjoy Ice Fever. Now, Pat has something interesting to tell us. You were playing this where?
My sister has the same machine in her house in Pittsburgh, and that's where I fell in love with it and searched a long time trying to find one. Saw Todd had an ad for one and went from there.
Now, is this a little nicer than your sister's?
It is definitely.
It better be a lot nicer.
Definitely a little nicer.
Yeah, Steven did his magic again. He had to touch up. The good news was this had the factory Mylar on it. So the cleanup was a lot less than it would have been if it hadn't. Ice Fever got serious heavy play. This was a very popular game. Pat has requested the top option here, our dome. It's connected in with this. You're going to see that. As a matter of fact, I'll show you now. Now, the back doesn't have spots, and that's because we used LEDs that are... Steven, you're off. Do you need money?
Yes.
All right, here's $1.
What's this?
That's gonna laugh at you. Don't even use it. It's the Mickey card.
That's my Disney card, so I get points for my next trip.
There won't be enough on here to get me a cup of coffee.
You see what I put up with? Day in, day out, day in, day out.
Mickey's gonna laugh when they use that card.
Anyway, we're back to our 7-digit game and our heater kicked on. Okay, the shooter here, what we did is we had to, you really have to do this with every Ice Fever. You have to take the mechanism out, change the sleeve, and clean and lubricate it so it's running nice and smooth. So it has enough power to bat that thing all the way around. Rebuilt the power supply button cell right here. There's no room for Frank's board, so we have the little battery cell here, and then you put the blocking diode up top. So that was done. Board has been serviced. Should last him 30 years. So, as a matter of fact, when I'm 91, that's probably when this will break. Oh, no.
Come visit you at your grave.
Grave! I'm living to be 110 because every week, Pat, I have Pizza Hut.
It's so good for you.
It is. It is. We did change the power connector. These are usually fried. So this is a new power connector. Now, do you see the jumpers here that goes into that wire here? It's running through the harness up here. So if Pat ever has to take it off, he'll easily be able to remove it. 2 screws hold it down. Hey, Kurt, just show the top. See, we've pop riveted 2 little brackets to hold that in. There's 2 LED towers in there. Red towers, of course, to make it extra red. Now, Kurt made a note here. Dip switch 32 on the logic board. I refuse to call this the motherboard. The motherboard. The motherboard. Motherboard. The only time you can use that term is a Bally Midway, where you in fact have a motherboard and a daughter board plugged in to the side. This is not a motherboard. There's no boards plugged into it. Uh-oh, I just got a thumbs down, Pat.
That was me.
But you're here. You couldn't give it...
Did it before you uploaded it. 32.
Okay, 32.
Advertising.
It's on. That means that it's going to make that noise I think this cycle's 20 seconds. Now, if it begins to drive you bonkers, you just flip the switch off, and then you turn the game off and on, and it'll recycle it. It only reads these switches, these little switches, when you first turn it on. So when you first turn it on, the game goes, the 5 volts comes in, it goes, ah, and it goes, and it sets the game up there. Did you hear that sound effect? And then it knows that you want the advertising on. And see, there's just a couple of dip switches up here, but they're test switches. Good, I think that's it on there. And by the way, this is the Skinny Head series. And all of you know that this is my favorite head of all the heads they made. You're foul
You don't know anything
mouth.
about skinny.
You can't say things like that on my videos. I have little toddlers watching.
Come on.
I have toddlers. Come on, I'm trying to show Pat all the wonders. Kurt, look at the side of the cabinet. This is actually the original art. This came out of somebody's cellar. Did you notice I didn't say basement?
Do you care?
Pennsylvania term.
Cellar. I gotta tell you, this poor lady came in. She's all dressed up nice, and her husband, and they put this order in for 4 or 5 games. And when I'm writing up the order, and I said, "Now, tell me, is there a flight of steps down to your cellar?" And you should have seen the look on her face. It just went, "We don't have a cellar! It's a finished game room!"
Ow.
Ooh.
Hungry.
I was thinking the kind of cellar, the dirt floor, you know, and the roots, and like that. See, I flashed a picture.
Is your old house?
No!
That was a
You
cellar.
creep!
That was definitely a cellar.
Cellar. Could talk in that cellar. No, Kurt, you were taking down there a few
Okay,
times.
he's
Yeah,
gonna have to
scary.
vacuum real quick. Now look, up here, he put this nice strip of green down the center. For the colorblind viewers, I know, Frank, I can hear you now. These are the pop bumper boards. They already had the jumpers done. It keeps the board from blowing up. Because I think in '82 they figured that out. So these were already updated, but we did take them out and reheat them because these are ice cold. We retightened the screws. New end of stroke switches, new sleeves, there are new plungers and links. You have to remember the plungers and links. See the plunger and that weight link, they're new. Boy, are they a pain in the neck to put in. But I don't have to do it. I have them do it.
Editing.
I'm busy editing.
While we do it.
This is the power supply that doesn't need the ground mod.
Or transformer.
What do you mean?
Power supply.
Oh. This is a transformer.
There you go.
It's still a kind of like a power. This
Keep editing.
supplies the power supply.
You're right.
But we like this. See, they thought ahead. They did this wonderful job on it. I wish they did that earlier. But then, of course, they abandoned the system and they went to the next one. So that was the end of that, wasn't it?
Well, we're
Cabinet.
ever going to see gameplay or what?
Well, people know how to play. Now look, Kurt cleverly.
I did not do that.
Oh, you didn't?
That was Jason.
Oh, Jason. This covers this hole here. Now this, they put the hole in there, and guess maybe so it's easy to drop the ball in, rather than take the plastics off. We protected all of his plastics with these clear washers. The plastics were actually perfect, unbelievably, and I think it's because the game didn't have the play it probably could have gotten. So the plastics are all safe now. You can get them from ICE. They're 25 cents each. The problem is the minimum order is $100. That's a lot of washers. But see, whenever we order stuff, we order parts for the Czech hockeys. We order the gearboxes, we order the goalie boxes, we order the ramps, they call them the ramps, even the yellow strips, all that comes in when we get parts for that. Did you notice that these are blinking? These are GI, they're not supposed to blink. But Jason thought it would be neat to put 2 slow blinkers here and 2 fast blinkers here, as though the referees were calling out. He thought that was clever, and I did too. Pat, I want you to play a game. And there's a ball in it. Load the program, that's what we say. This loads the computer program. It's pulsing. Do you see how they did that? Just a little extra touch. Just a little extra touch. Oh, you know what? It's level, so it's actually going to play pretty fast being level.
Pretty slow.
Pretty slow. Yeah. It's going to play fast though, even though it's level. It's going to play faster than most. Somebody calling during the filming.
We're not open yet. You remember what a volume controller is, right? On the door? You know what a volume is? Your sister has this game, you say it was your sister? She doesn't know what a volume is? Volume's right here. So you can adjust that accordingly. Yeah. So you can show your sister now. It's a fun little game. This wax, like a little liquid car wax, is really good for it. I'll keep it nice and clean, I'll keep it running nice and fresh.
How long?
Depends on how much you play. You start seeing track lines from the bowl, wax the bowl too, because that's all the dirt on it. So when you go to your sister's on, put a wax on it and shine it up real nice. It's amazing how clean they get. But yeah, keep the wax on it.
People rudely call when I'm busy with a customer. Kurt finished up. We're going over some things with this young man. The volume pot, it still has to get vacuumed, Kurt.
Yep.
And that's the last step, actually. So, the proud new owner. Now there are going to be 2 Ice Fevers in the family, right?
Yes.
2. But after a while, I think that advertising will get to you.
Yeah, you don't have to show me that dip switch again.
We'll show him again.
Bulbs in the fuses.
Here we give you that solder pencil. There's even a socket inside to plug it in. You can solder all the wires. Pat, typically 5 or 6 wires fall off every hour.
I know you're joking.
Do you know how many games we get traded back in and the solder pencil's still sealed? We put a little solder in there too. It's still sealed. Nobody ever opens it. Now we get to the next step, folding it up. Well, wait a minute, I was going to help load. And so was Frank. Was Frank going to help load?
I guess he's too busy eating.
Oh.
He's got that cottage cheese. Bucket of cottage cheese.
A bucket? You can't.
He's starving.
Frank said to keep his slender figure, you have to eat less than 10 times a day, but more than 9. So.
He's a big one.
Oh. Now look, I carefully got this all wrapped up for you.
Did nothing. You both were eating out of the cottage cheese bucket, were you?
I don't like cottage cheese. And I bet Pat doesn't.
No.
True men don't like cottage cheese. Look, Pat, look what I got. Notice it says for Todd to open. But notice that it says right there, it's from Death Wish Coffee. I already got an advance notice. Lee Bartholomew sent me this. A whole pound of Death Wish coffee, young man.
Sweet. We start ready, sir?
Shall we open it? I'll watch.
Yeah, I know you will.
Oh, my back. Oh. Little more. So mean. Frank is here.
I gotta take. You want a video of that too?
Well, you can't say that word, Franklin. Kurt is walking and talking to himself?
Yeah, he's doing a walk. Where's Walt?
Oh, man. These boys are especially crude. Wallace, take your razor blade and cut the top of this box open. One of our viewers, good friend and viewer Lee, sent us this. And we're dying to see what's inside, Frank. Look. If Frank didn't see me opening it. Frank, Lee sent us the most wonderful coffee,
More coffee?
on earth.
I'm watching you struggle.
Oh, my favorite symbol.
That's what's gonna be.
Now, contrary to what you might think, this coffee is really good. Actually, right up here, see this right here? That's a link to our Death Wish coffee when somebody else sent us stuff. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was Lee. Anyway. And now, Kurt, the best thing. I get paid, and a lot.
The best thing is I'm leaving.
You can't. They're delivering the time fantasy. That's what the light and the tripod was. They're kidding. That beautiful time fantasy that you saw the video on, that is going down the shore back to its owner. That walk up here just exhausted me. But now I'm ready to take money, and lots of it. Listen, I charged you an extra $1,000 because I couldn't think of anything else to do. Anyway, let's get settled up and we'll get him on his way. Well, Pat, comes that horrible time when I have to ask you to leave. Get out? Should I scream
Say
it,
it.
boys?
Let me hear it.
Now get out! Oh, another thumbs down, Frank.
That was me again.
And me. I'll put one on.
Boy, you can't do this. You got to get him on his way. By the way, did you see this bargain? Look, we got this $25. It actually lights up and the lights blink, but the television set is missing. Look. Isn't this a wonderful little set for your house? Can you imagine putting that in the bathroom? The old picture tube sets. So maybe somebody will buy it from us. Look, just came in. Bride of Pinbot. Just came in trade. I hope you're watching our bargain basement videos for some deals. Look, there's an Evel Knievel. It's waiting for somebody's house. It works perfect. All rebuilt power supply. Got the vacation pinball waiting for somebody. I know. We're going to move on. We're moving on now. Frank, look. Now, we sold this brand new to somebody back in '89. And we had put this, our original decal was black and white. This is a visit our giant showroom. And then when it got traded in, we stuck our color one on top of it. Okay, and that went out to another customer. So now this is heading into its third home owner. It's never been publicly vended. So the coin mix, look at the coin door, it's like perfect. Like brand new. As is all the plastics. God, it's perfect condition. So but we're not ready for that video yet. But we are ready to show you this magnificent Space Invaders that is going to Canada. Look at this. It is beautiful. New top caps from Pinball Resource. And Jeff at Classic Arcades had a few left of these hot stamp Space Invaders. He only had 2 sets left. I bought them both. So I got 1 new set here. And you know, Frank, I sold the other caps to a homeowner on eBay. I think it was $20 including shipping. The 7 used ones. They had little burn marks on them. And this man's daughter came up with a tic-tac-toe game. Let me show you this picture. Isn't that cute? That was really clever, wasn't it? Thanks for sharing that picture. Anyway, customer asked us to light this with regular lights. He did not want the LEDs. But he did say I could get these custom Space Invaders targets, also from Classic Arcades. Look, it's a little Space Invaders guy put in. He said it was okay to do that. So I did. He's going to put his own LED lighting in it, from what I understand. Jeff also provided me with this one centerpiece because the detail was all worn. So we have a decal over that to fill in the detail. It's sealed in Mylar. Kurt, how do you have the back locked? Is there a key?
Not yet. Screwdriver.
What?
Screwdriver.
Oh, okay.
Any key will fit it.
He's got a. Yeah, I don't have a key for this. Any key will fit. Here we are. Look at that. Anyway, inside it's a very heavy door. We took this apart and we put all new bulbs in there. So eventually he's going to change them, I guess, for the LEDs at some point. Now, Jason said he had to do this, so he had to put red eyeballs in for the eyes. So these are incandescent bulbs. These are from Stern. Pinball actually had a few of these. They were dipped, and Jason had a couple new ones. So let's put it in there. And we did. And look what else we did. Frank's battery board here. New EPROMs have been burned. They're not masked PROMs, but these are ROMs actually. And of course the appropriate jumpers were done. Over here, this board here has been serviced with new parts for the high voltage. Plus, we use a full-size fuse now instead of that goofy tiny little one you can't buy anywhere. Of course, the connectors were all heated. New caps in the soundboard. All these. Frank. Okay, all the displays have been reheated. And as Kurt points out, this uses any key. Right, Kurt? Any key. Any key. Locked. Good. Now nobody can lose the key. Now look inside. How nice and clean everything is. We put new capacitors on the power supply. This still has to get vacuumed, but we had to change these 2 connectors. Brand new and new triuricon pins to make that perfect. And all of the targets have these little capacitors, new capacitors on them, to make sure the closures are perfect. Because when you hit the target real fast, it never works. We rebuilt all the flippers with brand new plungers and links and end-of-stroke switches. All done. All done. You know, we did another Space Invaders, and Kurt and Frank did something very rude to me. And I guess it's appropriate I show that clip next. Here, see, look. Every time we go around, we accelerate in the center. What is
Todd's
he doing?
gameplay.
Oh, look, Frank, look. Ha-ha! I just scored all those points, Frank, all by myself. When you get that shot, people are going to think that we hate these games.
It's a good game, you just suck at it.
Wait a minute.
Oh!
Huh?
You want to see your gameplay?
boy mean? He's not going to do that to me again, is he? Now, do you hear this? We have it set so we make the explosion sounds when you flip the flippers. That is not a factory setting, but the customer can easily flip the switch to turn that off. Makes it more exciting, doesn't it, Frank? And I guess you all remember, this is the one where Space Invaders is the game where Bally, after they released it, they realized, oh, there are no 10-point switches on the playfield. Not one. See, all the switches that are normally 10 point, like here or here, were 50-point switches. Oh, so they had to make a special ROM that would match on either 00 or 50. So it means the last two digits of your game can either be 00 or 50. So you still only have a 10% chance of getting the right number. The computer selects the winning score. So even though there's only two possible options, there's only a 10% chance of it hitting the right one. Now this is playing super fast, and it's level. Now that noise is this. See, if you get that, that is like hitting the saucer at the top. See, that's what that's supposed to be. The saucer is rolling across the top on the video game. Now, the original game had little mini posts here. And in a little bag, when you bought the game in a little bag, you got the bigger posts. The bigger posts make it harder to make the loop. The original factory, when it was shipped, had these little crapo posts in there instead. That wasn't very nice. It was very, very easy to go that loop shot. But I think almost everybody switched it and put the other one in. Right down the toilet, Franklin. We have it on 5-ball play, even though it says 3. It's very easy to change it to 5. I need 5-ball play. I only need this last one right here. And I got them. I got all of them. Now I start over to hit these 5 again. And then I advance to 40,000. Okay. Now the special. And you continue to get unlimited specials. It's flashing. And only when that flashes it makes that noise. Boy, was this game a hit when it came out. It was a huge, huge hit. I remember people standing in line to play it. And Frank, it's just in time for the new Aliens movie coming out. Even though it says it's not Aliens. And there's a licensed Aliens pinball machine coming out. Got it. So I can score all that wonderful stuff. There's only one left. Remember the video game? And it Ended in 50, didn't it, Frank? Ended at 50. And the match was 0-0. Anyway, let's go back and see the other game. Ready now, Kurt, I hope.
Doesn't work. Ready to turn on? Bam. It's nice and loud.
Now, this used to be a Mortal Kombat, we think. As a matter of fact, I'm almost sure of it. But now, with this crisp yellow T-molding, stereophonic sound, is now a Marvel versus Capcom. That's right. New switches, new buttons, new everything. High gloss black, right, Frank? Power supply, and Frank, I wanted to show people. This has actually a Wells Gardner digital monitor in it now. So it's one of the digital ones, the new ones. Now this one here, Chris took that apart and he installed a brand new lithium battery while the old one was still connected, so he could switch over to the new battery. It's a trick to do it, isn't it? But it works.
Choose your alter ego!
Who should I choose? Take out my speed. Here we go. Now I know how to hit the buttons just right. Now watch. Can I switch to Spider-Man? What am I doing, Kurt? You know what's happening?
Yeah, you're losing.
Am I doing good?
Terrible.
Here comes a new challenger!
See how nice and neat everything is.
Your alter ego!
The Connect-O-Matic buttons.
We'll mark these so he doesn't make a mistake.
I'm gonna mark these so he doesn't make a mistake.
There, I won't. Because of the backwards.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Tired. I'm so tired. Frank, what should we do now? The heater's started. But listen, while we were away, I'm going to show you something. While we were doing that, we have the right with a real key now. Okay? Insert key, turn, and unlock. And it's nice. It's nice to take. We also made it, what do you call it, balls? 3 balls. So now it's 3 balls a game, right, Frank? For our customer, so he's happy. We have to keep people happy. Frank, I think it's time to go, isn't it? Oh, it is, but you know what I want to show you? I sent this treasure in. Oh dear.
More cowbell.
Well, we are not going to try to repaint this. I think we're going to put an overlay on it. Well, guess what's coming tomorrow? Wizard of War, that's going to market Canada. And look, an F-14 Tomcat. Eva, it's your Tomcat. God, it's beautiful. Wait until you hear the story. We got the original overlay off of it. Okay? And now we're in the process of restoring it. It'll look beautiful. I like this music. We'll end with it. Good night.